everyone. Welcome to Where Eagles Soar. I was going to think twice about that. I mean, welcome to Outside the Box. Welcome to Cosmic Blueprints. Welcome to Syncretism now. Welcome to Where Eagles Soar tonight with Kiler Davenport. And, of course, we have Tony got in under the wire there. Good job. And, the board actually lit up there with a couple of callers. We still got one sitting there, so we'll definitely get into that shortly. How are you guys doing?
You are echoing 4 times over your first voice.
Wow.
Yep, there you go, and I am too. And the song echoed 4 times over the first voice.
How many computers you got going?
Just one.
Wow.
Tonight. I wanted to make sure and reboot and have everything cleaned and make sure that we didn't have any problems on it. So my end's perfect there.
Yeah, you sound loud and clear on this end.
Yeah.
Okay.
A few problems signing in this end as well.
I'm echoing like a big dog here 4 times over.
Wow, because you're no echo on this end. And Tony, how are you hearing any echoes at all?
Yeah, I am getting a slight echo, yes.
Well, that's kind of weird. Not for us, it ain't. Anyway, well, I guess we'll persevere. And
Tony, is Tony getting echo from you, Kate? Tony, are you getting echo from Kate or me or both of us?
Well, I was getting echo from you, not from Kate. Say something again?
I think we're better now. Well, I've got 1 echo now, not 4. Okay, we're okay.
Yeah, sounds. Well, it sounds great on this end. Okay, and Mary's saying, yeah, a bit of an echo, but not in the song. Tony has an echo. I don't. Tony, no echo. Or me, or only Kiler.
Only Kiler.
Oh, boy. Here I go. It's always Kiler.
No. It's not going to be a bitch tonight. Actually, I was pretty good last night being that.
Can't get on Facebook. I don't know what's going on here. We've tried every way but loose. Back door, front door, side door. Can't get on. I don't know what's going on. Maybe they've thrown us off the air. Maybe, I don't know.
They can't do that because we're untouchable, because we're part of Mama Mary's Rainbow Room.
We've been out planting cherry tomatoes all morning, putting up the greenhouses and getting the water catch systems in, so it's been a crazy day.
Oh, exactly. And by the way, just to let everyone know, I just got I'm still waiting for a few emails to come in with regards to all the help that Tony and I got, and one other individual as well, so we can do a proper thank you to everyone. But let it be known, you are known. Thank you so much. And we can't say that enough. Boy, is it ever nice just having that 0-point breathing room at the top of the hill, knowing you've got a little bit of backup ammo to keep you going for a little bit. So thank you guys, much obliged. And we'll do that. We'll do the shout outs to everyone. Doesn't matter if it's a nickel, doesn't matter if it's a million. Everybody counts the same because it's about the intent. Remember, it's all about intent. And as I call it, any fiat aid that we've got, we consider that the low caliber ammunition highly required and generally more amounts in terms of the numbers of pieces of ammo you got versus love, which is the true artillery. So regardless, we bomb our story all day, every day. So there you go. Any comments you want to make there, Tony, on that?
Hey, Kate?
Yeah.
Can you pull me back into the calls?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you want to hang up and I'll just pull you in with me?
Yeah, just call me. Yeah, let me try that. Okay.
Okay, hang up on your end and I'll grab you on Skype. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and we'll get you back in a sec.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I got a lot of hiss on the line tonight. I don't know what the hell that's all about, but whatever. Okay. Okay, that was, I was going to say that was Kyler's line. That was pretty, oh, we just lost Tony. going to be a fun night, boys and girls. Hi, I'm your solo host, Kate of Gaia, here on Where Eagles Soar with me. Oh, Tony. Yeah, I'm here. Yep. I'm just watching everybody. Yep, I'm here too. It's not even going through on Skype. So anyway, guys in the Love and Stuff room, you guys hearing everything okay? Yeah, Eagles soar alone, bitches. Absolutely. Now I'm just going to go to the host call here. Hi, this is Radio Training 101 with Kate of Gaia. Thank you for tuning in tonight just to be entertained. All right. Okay, I've got Kiler coming in with me, just waiting for Tony. And I know we have Jim on the call, so I'll unmute his mic, so at least I'll have somebody to talk to until everybody gets here. Oh, okay, I did hit it, Jim. Hang on. Here it comes.
Oh, there it goes.
Goes. We're all good. And there's Kiler. Yeah!
Yeah, I'm here.
There we go.
Cool. And Facebook just came back up.
Well, there you go.
Amazing.
The power of positive thinking and the ability for Mary to cast spells across the universe.
Works every time.
Yeah.
How's your morning been? Or what side of the world are you on there?
Well, I'm 3 hours ahead of you. It's 8 o'clock here, p.m. And Tony is he's 4 hours ahead until tomorrow night, guys. And UK jumps ahead an hour, so we're going to be back to 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, starting on Tuesday, because we do the QL television. So I hope Johnny remembers that. Oh,
is that a podcast?
Johnny puts it up on YouTube. So it's a live feed video stream every Monday night that we do on QL television. Tony, myself, Santo, and I do believe I got word that Dean Clifford will be joining us on Monday as well. So it's going to be one hell of a show, promise.
Cool. So that could be considered a podcast, I guess.
I guess, yeah. Well, if you consider YouTube, I mean, I guess if you have the gear on your own computer, you could probably record it on the fly. It's
okay, now I got it.
Yeah, live feed.
Yeah. Because a podcast is generally recorded in the studio. We're setting up here for podcasts, and then you send it to afterwards post. But we can run live and recording. It's crazy what we're doing here. I told you on the show last night I've got a camera not tonight because I didn't want to have any mistakes tonight with the audio, but I've generally got a camera going with another platform altogether, and then I've got another computer going with another platform altogether with a separate microphone, and then I've got you going, or not on. I haven't done it on your show yet, but on mine. So I'm actually tri-casting.
Oh, very good, very cool, very cool.
Kind of interesting,
Yeah, and I'll tell you what else is interesting. Tony got on the board again. I went to click his mic on, and he just bounced right back out again. I'll tell you what, seeing as things are really kind of screwy tonight. Oh, there he is. Wait a minute. Wait for it.
And I bounced out a while ago and back too.
And it's gone. Why do I feel like watching South Park tonight? Remember that episode of The Money? Well, we'll put $200 into a fund with preferred interest rates and moving over here into a foreign investment. Oh, and it's gone.
It's funny, how Skype is always asking you to give them comments and let them know what's wrong. But I've done that so many times on that little survey thing. But it's Skype is great. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, the only complaint I have with Skype, Kiler, is when there are really disastrous calls and what have you. They have the fine, poor. They don't have the fuck you one, and I want that one. A lot.
Yeah, and it's also like they're not giving us enough power. They could just give us a little more power, just 10% more power to hold the signals up.
Yeah, it would be great, but there you go.
They're skimping, corporate skimping.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Tony to come back on so I can go, and it's gone one more time. Okay, I got a couple of callers here, so why don't we bring them in and
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of mix this up tonight, get my niggers in a twist here. Hang on. All right, area code 612. I think it's area code 612. Hello, caller.
Hello, is that me?
Hi, I can hear you.
This is Sarah Renata calling from Australia.
Oh my, down under Cross Ripper, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, pretty well considering. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing awesome, and this is so cool. You know what? You're the first landline caller from Australia I've ever had.
Well, congratulations. I'm so honored that it's me.
Pop that cherry. I love it. That's beautiful. So what's on your mind? Jump in with us.
What's on my mind related to the theme of the show?
No, just in general. We kind of run things a bit wild on Saturday nights. We never know where we're going to go.
Never.
So give us a topic. What do you want to talk about?
Well, what's on my mind, which I'm really excited about, is that for 10 years I've been getting the information that it's not time, the planet is ready, and now I'm getting green light, the planet's ready, it's time for the divine feminine, for the new energy, the sacred world renaissance, to really take hold on the planet and create a massive transformational shift.
You have no idea the goosebumps you have just run right through me across the planet.
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's the energy, baby. I can feel it. And I'll wait for Mary to jump in. I believe it's Scorpio moon right now. I'll get Mary to correct me on that. And I'm going to leave your mic open, so don't go anywhere, and you're part of the show now, so you can't leave, okay? But I want to bring in, well, we got Tony back. I can't run the And It's Gone comedy skit anymore. I'm sad now. But we have another one here from area code 440. So I'm going to open that one up and see who that is. Well, it sounds like a drummer.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Pretty good. This is Billy. I just wanted to thank you for your shows.
Oh, hey. No, thank you for your listenings. Isn't that cool?
Today I was thank you for you and Santos. I've listened to a ton of your conversations.
Well, hey, Billy, we're glad to have you. And, you know my rules on radio. We leave the mics open. It is an open... Every one of our shows, regardless of title, when people call in, it is an open forum. So we need you guys to be a part of it because, hey, it's not a show without you. So any questions or comments you've got? I mean, you're not going to top, the Divine Feminine Awakening one. I know that. But yeah, I'm sure you've got something snappy.
Today I hung out in the Metro Parks and I put up a bunch of different tags. I put up one for Santos Bonacci and one for you.
Oh, look at you.
I put Kata Gaia walks on water. I have a picture of the sun on top of the water.
Oh, look at you.
Hopefully it's not on camera.
Oh, who cares?
So it's fun putting up all these, I put up a Ring of Power, and I don't know, all different art all over.
I got to ask you, Billy, how old are you?
33.
33. Look at that. And see, I can call you a kid because I'm 48, going to be 49 in a couple of months. The kids are showing us how it's done, boys and girls. That's what you've just talked about, my friend. Regardless of what you put up, you changed the intent and you went out and did it.
Yep.
That is exactly what I've been talking about. Thank you so much. So I'm thinking that you had something to do with the Divine Feminine opening today. So this is why it's a tag team with the listeners tonight. Beautiful stuff.
And that's
We're getting ready to do
property of... Go ahead.
I was going to say we're getting ready to do our blitz up here, too, our advertising blitz for Katie and myself and the shows, and that's going to be a hoot. See what happens. We're going to try to pull in 25,000, 30,000 local listeners up here, put a fence around them, so that's going to be pretty neat. We're going to start that next week, actually.
Oh, awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
We're going to get some of the sheriffs in there as well, Kiler.
Yes.
Huh? Get what?
Get some of the sheriffs in there.
Well, we got that. Yeah, I'm going to be interviewing Sheriff Jerry here, Chief Jerry, actually, not Sheriff Jerry. Sorry, that's a big distinction. Chief Jerry, that's going to be cool, and we'll see how that works. And then I've got a couple of sheriffs coming on and talking about, what they're learning. Believe it or not, they are learning. So it's good.
Excellent.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
No, I was just saying, well, we're all learning, It's a constant learning process. But if we can get in there and have a chat to them and, help them understand quite what's been going on while we've been under this mind control, that would be great. It's all about getting the information to the people who need it. And the guys in power, we need them in, we needed them awake and in power, not awake and leaving their jobs. That's the
exactly.
Need.
Yeah, this imperialism thing is something we always talk about to try to teach them what imperialism really is and what czars really are and how this power originated and why it needs to kind of smooth out and calm down and kind of balance out a little bit. It's not about becoming an officer of the law and going out and rounding everybody up, beating them over the head, knocking them out. And it's not about that at all, And a lot of officers, that's all they've got on their mind. I drank coffee with them in the morning up here, and then some of the younger ones, full of piss and vinegar, come in there, and I treat them just like my kid. And some of them are fresh out of school, just ready to get that gun and go beat the hell out of somebody. That's what they tell me,
Yeah,
I can't wait to get out there, man.
Yeah, the jarhead mentality.
Yeah, it's really amazing though when you sit and talk to them. It's one thing to talk about it on the radio. Of course, Kate and I, we're both very well informed about these areas, but most people are not. They don't sit down and talk to officers often. So it's very interesting to sit down and actually have a conversation with them to see what they're thinking,
Yep, absolutely. I'm really wanting to hear more about the green light, green light, green light.
What's that? Which one?
Wait for it.
The green light, green light, green light.
Yeah, it'd be you. And you know what? It cut out when you said your name. So what is your lovely name?
My lovely name is Reverend Dr. Sarah Renata.
Oh, okay, I didn't catch that again. That's my headset. Try again.
Reverend Dr. Sarah Renata.
Beautiful. Do you have a nickname? I'm just kidding.
I do. My nickname is Swan.
Swan. Oh, now I know who I'm talking to.
Yes.
Green light, green light. Okay, you just connected every dot, hon. Thank you so much.
That's my job.
Yeah, and you know what my Skype handle is, don't you?
No.
Cygnus Trumpets. Thought that'd make you giggle.
I knew we were meant to connect.
Absolutely. As soon as I saw Swan, I'm thinking, oh yeah, universe, surreal. Here we go. Follow the yellow brick road. So here we are. Why don't you explain? You guys are going to be fascinated with this because I got inside track here. Why don't you explain a little bit about yourself, Swan?
Okay, I am a sacred artist, spiritual teacher, and author, and I'm about to launch my book, which I've been working on for 10 years, called The Book of Sarah, Jesus' Secret Wife, which is a secret that has been locked behind seals for 2,000 years, until this time on the planet, when the planet was ready for this shift into divine feminine and divine love. And this started 10 years ago when I was given 3 months to live by doctors. And I checked myself out of the hospital and said it's between me and God. And I started to have a series of visionary appearances from Jesus. And by the way, I'm not a Christian, I'm absolutely not religious. But Jesus was the one who showed up and told me to break the seals. And from that point on, this story has started to pour out of me. And the point of the story really is that it's an allegory for the Renaissance, the sacred Renaissance that we're moving into at a world level, where we return to ways of sacred living, being, and doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just a reminder, everybody, if you're not chatting or whatever, please mute your mics so we're not getting coughs and breathing and all the rest of the background noise that we love so much on the shows. That is awesome news, Swan. We lost Billy that time. Oh, okay. Well, this is fun tonight.
Who's got the beautiful birds in the background there? I like that sound.
Sorry, Swan, go again?
It's been like this with interference all week because we're changing the paradigm and the frequencies are jarring, and there are opposing frequencies as well as the beneficent ones that are moving this energy and this new vibration forward.
Oh, that's awesome. And actually, I'm going to do a shout out because there's someone I would love to have join the call right now. and I don't know if she's going to do it. I've only called her out a couple of times. I was kind of prepping her for it, kind of getting her in the groove to call in. And Mary, get on your Skype, hon. I need you in this call. That's your Gemini 2 spirit calling for help. Because there's something I know. I don't know what, but just jump in. This is going to be an interesting call tonight. That much I do know. Cool, huh? You never know what you're going to... Oh, Mary's typing. And don't tell me you're cooking dinner. Okay. Oh, we had another caller come in here. Opening up the line. So here we go. Area code 817. Hello, area code 817. Your mic's hot. Are you calling in for questions or comments, or just listening?
That would be Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas, calling in. Hello.
Just listen. How do I shut my mic off?
Oh, you don't have to. No, I'll take care of that for you. I just like to make sure, because if people show up, I want to make sure if they have something to say that they... You can say hi.
Hello, everybody.
There you go. Perfect. And if you do, I'll unmute your mic a bit later. So if you have any questions or comments, don't be shy. Okay?
Do I mute or what?
I can mute on this end, or you can mute on yours. You got a mute on your end?
Ask her if she is from Fort Worth. Is that Fort Worth?
It's actually Arlington.
Oh, okay.
Texas. Yeah, but it's
over there where the dinosaurs were found coming down the big hill at Cedar Hill there. Yes.
Yeah, pretty close to there.
Right on.
What's your name? What's your name? Fort Worth.
I'm
Arlington?
Angie.
Angie.
Angie. Mm-hmm.
Well, nice to meet you, Angie, and see you made it onto the show and everything. Yeah, so Angie, I'll leave your mic open, so feel free. You know, this is just a phone call. It's just going out to tens of thousands of people, but it's just a phone call. All right.
Right. Anyway. That's great.
All right, so I'll leave your mic open, and you can jump in whenever you want. So back to Swan, and I'm going to see if I can coerce Mary to. How do I Skype in? Oh, just on the page there, Mary, you might have to reboot the radio page, but there is a little Skype button, and all you have to do is click that and follow the multiple boxes that will open and really frustrate the hell out of you like it does to me. That's the nights that I don't call in is on the host board. Calling in is you got to jump through some hoops, right? Click here to call in.
Yeah.
Gives you the heads up. We're shutting off the feed, and another box opens up. Click to talk. And another box pops up and says you have to open it to see it. Already have Skype, because for some reason my computer seems to tell Blog Talk that I don't have Skype, and I live on it. But anyway, and then I have to wait, and then it eventually shows up, and I'll see you on the board, and then I'll unmute you. Yeah.
Hey, it's Jim. I've got a young man that's coming over. He needs a little counseling. Can you mute me?
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that. So, and you tag me on tag me on Skype when you want back in.
Okay, thanks.
No worries. There we go. Mary's trying, so yeah, she's going to join us. That's great, because I see an interesting conversation going on with Swan and Mary and the rest of us.
Yeah, it is. I'm not. I'm just here.
Yeah, you know what?
Tony and I are asleep tonight.
I
carry on.
Tony and I are just like, carry on, Kate. No. Yeah. Get me wound up. Don't get me wound up.
Well, no, that's what I was going to say. Is this is probably the calmest Saturday night we've ever had so far.
Isn't it though? I'm just sitting here thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of interesting.
Well, you know, after last night, I think we had our fun last night. So all that beautiful scorpion moon fire and whatever that seems to be around.
I took heat. I took heat half the night on that one. I just had to. I didn't block anyone. Just
Well, tell you what. I'm gonna make it easy for you, Mary. I'm gonna pull you into the host call, so you don't stand a chance now. All right. Just a sec. I'm going to make it easy for Mary. Let me just get her on the board here. Talk amongst yourselves, guys.
What's happening, Tony?
Yeah, well, after recovering from last night's show,
Yeah, me too. I was that was interesting. I had a ball though. The show was great. Our friend over there had originally asked me to come in and listen, and I said, sure, it's a free country, come on, enjoy the show. And then all that other stuff started, and it just got one thing after another, and kind of cool. It's okay. What's that noise?
That's Mary on the call.
Boy, is she vacuuming the floor or what?
Hey, no, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now it's cool. Oh, nope, there it is.
No, there's something in the background. Don't worry about it. It's all right. We'll talk over it. Anyway, Mary, how's it going?
Mary's here. Oh, Mary's 3 children are here, and they say hi.
Hi, 3 children.
Yes.
Hello, kids.
They all say hello.
I heard. And I definitely need to hook you and Swan up, and a few others too that are coming into my immediate zone here. But actually, Swan, did you want to maybe reiterate what you said at the beginning of the show when you first came on?
About the green light?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. For the last 10 years, I have been told that it's not time by my guides. I'm 5 planets in Aquarius for you guys who are astrologers, so you will understand that I tend to be ahead of time. And I've been pretty depressed about it, but in the last couple of months I've been told, get ready, green light, this is time. The planet is ready for the transformation. And this is the first time, as many of you know, in thousands and thousands and thousands of years, when we have the opportunity to completely shift gear on the planet and evolve into a higher consciousness, a way of sacred living, being and doing, which I call the Sacred World Renaissance. And the next few months, even the next few weeks, are absolutely vital. They're critical for the new wave of light, the divine feminine, the divine love, to flow through the planet and uplift everybody.
That sounds awesome. Beautiful stuff. Can you give us any more details about these things that are in your book? I'm a little bit interested in those.
Can I give details about what? Could you say that a bit louder, please?
In the book? Some details of the book that you have coming out.
Yes, it's a secret story that's been locked behind seals for 2,000 years. It was revealed to me, as I mentioned before, some 10 years ago. And it's the story of Jesus' secret marriage, not to Mary Magdalene, to Sarah Magdalene, who was Mary's twin, and no one knew of her existence. So they had a secret marriage and a secret life. And this story is the truth of their life together and the point of their life together, the sacrifices that were made for a higher purpose, which is to manifest at this time on the planet. This is everyone embodying, everyone realizing that they are Jesus and Sarah. They are the sacred union. They are the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And in the process of reading the book, that memory of our divine inheritance gets reactivated. So the book's written very lyrically with a lot of poetry in the vein of the Songs of Solomon. And it's actually filled with codes that reactivate this memory of our divine inheritance within our cellular matrix.
I'm thinking, do you feel like doing a chart, Mary?
A chart?
Yeah, just on the fly?
Well, you know how I am. I like to input the chart and then...
look at it.
And then, take my time a little bit.
No, I know. I just...
No, I'll definitely input it. And she said she has a lot of Aquarius planets. 5 Aquarius planets somewhere. So.
Yeah, Swan, you have 5 planets in Aquarius?
Yes.
Did you want to share that information, time of birth and stuff, with Mary? She's quite good.
Yeah, I'm happy to. No one. Well, the time of birth is questionable within a few minutes, but it's the 17th of February, 1958, and it's at roughly 1:54 not in the night, at lunchtime.
PM.
And so it's an interesting chart. My numerology is 33, for those who understand numerology, which embodying...
What was the year again?
I believe it was 1958, Swan?
Yeah.
1958, and whereabouts?
Leeds, Yorkshire.
Leeds, Yorkshire, England.
Alrighty. I'll put that in.
Okay.
Leeds like Leeds?
You got it.
Okay. I got it.
How did you end up over there?
Oh, look at this. Oh, I don't have a name for her, duh. Okay.
How did I
so you have Moon in Aquarius, too.
Is that the question?
I didn't hear what question was because it was like everyone was stepping on everyone there. Tony, what was that? Tony asked you how you ended up in Oz.
Well, it's been a long journey of living all over the world, and it's been part of the plan of the gathering of what I call the Christ soul family. So a lot of people who were around Christ at that time, 2,000 years ago, not just on the physical level, but on other levels, but people who have been involved in the energy of the mystical Christ for a very long time, who are all gathering together at the planet on this time, and at a certain point in the next few months, or certainly the next year, these kindred spirits will be gathering and generating a flow of basically Christic love, Christic energy as we come together and unite our souls as part of that Christ soul family.
Okay, I see something neat.
It's what was called, what was meant by the second coming. As Jesus said, what I do, you too shall do and more, and we are destined to do more. And actually, what he tells me is that we're already doing more because we're overcoming such intense obstruction, such intensely, densely ingrained patterns and matrices that we have to fit with levels of technology that's beneficent and also unhelpful at times. He says we're already doing way more than they had to do back then, 2,000 years ago.
Yeah, totally true. We've got all this stuff, fluoride vaccinations, HAARP, mind control technologies, high definition TVs, radio waves, microwaves, the lot. They're throwing everything they can at us to stop us reactivating or coming back to full consciousness.
That's right. I have incredible aura photographs of it all.
Yeah, Curlian photography.
So at some point they will be shared. But yes, this is it. And really, we all know the answer. It's divine love. It's the only way forward.
I think she's talking about Curlian photography, aura photography.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I know Mary is chomping at the bit to jump in here with a couple of tidbits for you, Swan. So, Mary, what do you got?
I was just looking at your Chiron. It's right. Your Chiron is conjunct with your Mercury and your Moon. They're all together in the 8th house. So Scorpio's house. And I was thinking it was really interesting that you keep saying, in the words that you were expressing to us, you kept saying intense, and all the Scorpio words, and then all the Aquarius words, you have these big ideals and these ideas. And I think that, the Chiron right there with your Mercury is, you have these great ideas. That's why you did the book, for helping others, for healing, because Chiron is the wounded healer. So, and then your Moon is there, too. And it's Aquarius, so it's not going to be too emotional or carried away in the water, because it's an air sign. So they're more social, so you can get it out to people better. If it wasn't in Aquarius, it would be harder for you to do that. And I also think it's beautiful that you have Cancer right on the ascendant, because you seem so motherly to us all already. You've been spending 10 years writing this book, and it's coming out. There's so many things I could say.
I'd like to bring the Davenport perspective in here, if I could.
Absolutely.
I feel very comfortable listening to her also. Very, very comfortable. She just kind of mellows me out, and I trust her voice and what she's doing. However, I'm sure that if she has studied what she has been studying, she knows how difficult it will be to convince anyone in the mainstream of what we're talking about here tonight, because Christ's resurrection is up in the air. The jury's still out. We're not even sure, and I've got over 5,000 pages about this I'll put up. We're not even sure if he was crucified, which is really, to me, not the point. Whether he was crucified or not is not really the point. But to mainstream Christianity, which there are millions of them out there, who are so stuck in the mud that they're not ever going to doubt the resurrection. But if you'll read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they all give very different accounts of the resurrection and of the crucifixion of Christ. And some were written 200, 250 years after the fact, and we're not really sure if they stole the body or if the herbs that were brought in, they were healing herbs that were brought into the tomb with Jesus. And everything suggests that Jesus was brought back to life, or in the Greek, resuscitated from the tomb and brought out and went to France to live with several folks there in France, and died in France at 89 years old. So this is this is what I wanted to interject. Is it's wonderful to talk, and I'm happy. I'm peaceful. I love what's going on tonight. But I also want to bring in that perspective of just how complex this issue is to so many across the world as we speak tonight about these issues.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of issues there, Kiler.
Of course, I'm somewhat of a biblical scholar myself.
Yeah.
So, it's I've studied a lot of world history, a lot of world religion, and especially Christianity and Hinduism. And, of course, there again, Jesus was lost there 400 years before Christ was Buddhism. So Christ was heavily into Buddhism. If you'll read the Corinthians, if you'll read Daniel, if you'll read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, you'll find many, many references to Buddhism. And you'll find many references to the ancient Middle East.
Well, a lot of it, I would hazard to say that it's mainly Hermeticism, based on the allegorical, metaphorical nature of it. But again, one of the things that I have learned over the years is I keep everything open. Maybe that's the air in me, right? The Gemini.
Well, that's the heretic in us.
Yeah, and
that's the heretic in us.
Now, I have no idea what angle of research, and I'm fascinated to see this, what angle of research Swan has come in with, and maybe if you can give a little bit.
Well, yeah, I'd be interested in that too, because I'm not daring.
I know. You're bringing the other perspectives, and that's what you do, where you bring it all to the table here.
I have the paperwork here, and the stuff I can send Swan on the resurrection and the death and the crucifixion and all of the disciples.
Yeah, I mean, we Dead Sea Scrolls, all of it. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm curious, Swan, where a lot of the research came from.
Yeah, I'm here and I'm loving this conversation. I'm champing at the bit.
I can feel you. I know.
Thank you. If your name is Davenport, thank you for that. And yes. I agree with you largely. And in fact, it's a series of 4 books. It's a quartet. And you don't really find out till later on in the story what did happen to Jesus post-crucifixion.
Yes.
But you do find out. I don't get my information from history books, and I certainly don't get it from the New Testament, because as many...
Oh, no, I agree. That's horrible.
As you will know, it's altered radically in 300-something, 80-something AD at the Nicene Council. And it's
now, I would like to say that the New Testament gives us a more complete view of the puzzle by being so disruptive and so off-key and so out of sync. The New Testament is so out of sync with everything. So it does give us a complete part of the forensic picture. And I'm sure you'll agree with that, even though it's skewed.
Yeah, absolutely, I do. The way that this story has come to me, as I mentioned when I was dying over 10 years ago, was through direct appearances from Jesus himself. And I have had this ratified quite frequently by other psychics and healers on the planet, that this information is coming to me from the very top. And that I had a sacred contact to be the one to come back at this time to break the seals and bring the truth through, and it could not be done until I was able to do that. So I am not getting my information from his story anywhere. This is the way the Divine Feminine works, and it's part of this rebirth of the Divine Feminine. But it's a creative energy.
My intuitive.
Kyler, let her go. It's yeah.
She's exciting me. I'm excited.
I know. I'm chomping here too, but I want Swan to get it all out, baby.
Yeah, go ahead, Swan.
So we get our information direct from the divine, and the more we purify ourselves, the more we clear our karma and our past lives and our cellular memory and our soul memory, and align to the divine at a cellular level, at a soul level, right through our being, the more we're able to commune directly with the divine and bring in accurate information from the Akashic realm and the highest levels of the divine realm. And this is not just about females, by the way. I totally honor that divine feminine aspect in males who are also doing their part to create shift on the planet at the time and open their hearts and be open to this divine feminine way. We cannot rely on scientific facts or historical facts. And that's not the point, because actually if we rely on believing what anyone tells us, we are not speaking the truth for ourselves, and we are not connecting to the divine. We are not embodying our own divine power and our own divine inheritance. And the more we do that, and the more we come into connection with people who are doing that, the more we find that we're on the same page and we're getting the same information and we agree.
Yeah, and I think that's wonderful. Everything you're saying lines up and really makes a lot of sense. As we traveled out of Asia and across the Bering Straits, and we came into the New World of North America, South America, went over into Australia and Indian Ocean and Africa, we things changed so drastically as Christians became Christians as they are today. So what you're saying makes a whole lot more sense than what Christians have been led to believe. And so we've got a problem here, Houston, as far as getting the word out. I teach the same basic things that you do up here, and I've been barred from the churches up here, most of them, not all of them. The Unitarians let me in. Universalists are very nice and kind. But the mainstream Christian churches will not even let me in the front door up here for talking about the things that you are talking about tonight. And I think this word needs to get out. People need to become educated in what you're saying. I'll promote your book, and I know Kate will, and everything that you're doing, because it gives people the opportunity to think for themselves and to reanalyze everything that they've been told since the beginning of time, which is basically what these shows are about, is to give people the freedom to think,
Right. They have to discover the truth themselves. It's not about them believing me and what I say. It's about them reading the book and being activated so they know truth within themselves.
Exactly.
And when you talk about being banned, I have to tell you I've had over 25 attempts on my life, and mostly through the dark arts, and it has not been fun. And the reason I'm in Australia is because I can be low-key and under the radar largely here until the book goes out. And the reason the book's going out as literary fiction is so that it doesn't get caught up in the battle of religion or history, and that people see it as a novel with a higher message.
I wish I could hear you better. Are you on headphones?
No, it's a landline calling in from Australia. It's a bit hissy. That's what this constant sound is in the background. I don't think, Swan, you're not on Skype, are you?
I am, but it's mainly interference that I get that impairs my Skype and phone. I can find the phone
Mary,
and
would
get
you
on
mute?
Skype and better.
I wanted to see if it was hers. I just wanted to test
I am
it.
muted.
Mary is muted. No, it's that's
a
a landline buzz. I can hear it. It's
How do I get onto you on Skype?
Well, I have your Skype contact. Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, tell you what. If you can, I'll give you my Skype, and you can do this while you're on the phone. Is your Skype open right now?
I'll do it right now.
Okay, and I'll get a contact request from you, and I'll just pull you in with Mary Kiler and myself.
God, Mary, you sound clear, Mary. Very clear.
Oh, like clear as a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions as well for Swan, so that'll be interesting.
Okay, what's the Skype address?
Okay, mine is Katie.Renee.Thompson. KATIE.RENEE.THOMPSON.
Okay.
So just do a search on that. I'm waiting for the contact request. Then I can, you can hang up on the phone and I can bring you in via Skype. It'll be a whole lot clearer, I know.
Yeah, be much better.
There you are. It's gone.
Okay, waiting. Yeah, my handle is Cygnus Trumpets. So if anyone ever wonders to correlate, that's how you find me. There we go. Just came in. Boy, that took almost 2.5 seconds from Australia.
Amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it's friggin' awesome. Now, have you got your Skype headphones ready to go?
I need to get them. Just bear with me. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
No problem. And in the meantime, no one wants to talk because we got questions. And I know Mary has. I can feel you, Mary. You've got more information.
Just one really cool one.
Well,
it's really cool, but I'll wait till she gets back.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely Swan needs to hear it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We haven't had a call like this in a little while. We do have another caller in at 513 though, so I'm going to bring them on to see if they have any questions or comments.
I'm waiting for the Christians to come in and get a rope here.
Oh please, we don't have those kind of listeners, Kiler. We scare them away. Truth does that to most people.
I was going to say that's your show, mate, and it's guns, not ropes.
Exactly. Area code 513. Questions or comments?
Hey, Kate. This is Josh.
Josh, how are you doing?
Yeah, no questions or anything. My computer just messed up, so I'm just calling in to listen.
Okay, well, I can mute you or leave your mic open. Your call.
You can mute me. That's fine.
Okay. Well, and if you wanted anything, just Skype in the Love and Stuff room, and I can unmute your mic. You see, everyone, if you get on Skype in contact with us, you get direct correlation and contact with us. And
you get unmuted with no notice.
That's right, just like you. I'm sorry, Mary, I do that all the time.
No, I just had to throw that in. Yeah.
She does it to me all the time too.
But it's true. It's true.
Oh, that's good. Like you said, you have to pop that mute cherry, right?
Exactly. And
okay, I'm plugged in. I'm ready.
Okay, well, you can hang up your landline, and then I'll bring you in on Skype with me. So we'll bring you right in, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right. Yeah, there goes the call. Just wondering what else is that. I'm just going to try a couple of things here. Angie, I'm going to mute your mic just to see if that, because it's a landline, so I'm just wondering if that might be it. And we're having fun on Skype tonight. Okay, well, I'll leave them on hold for now. We'll bring everybody else in. So let me just get over to my channel here, and hopefully the host can handle for it. And if not, well, we got Tony. Tony, Tony, I'll pass the contact along to you as well.
Hey there.
There you are. That's so much better. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Wow.
Hugely better.
Wonderful.
Yay. Aho.
Much better. Good to have you, hon.
Thank you. So good to be here. I've been so isolated and not been having these conversations with anybody except the masters up there in the divine realm for way too long.
Well, that's awesome. And I know Mary had a couple of things she wanted to share with you as well.
What she said was just perfect. That was awesome. So, okay, one thing that really stuck out to me is that in your third house, so your communications, a lot of other things, but since you're communicating to us right now, I thought I'd say that, but you have Pluto there, and it's in the first degree. So it's a critical degree to be in the first degree of any sign. And that's Virgo, ruled by Mercury, so the brainiac analyzer. And this is how you communicate.
What, me?
Yeah, you. This is you. And so
I'm laughing.
Yeah, it's very you already just listening to you. And then you have this opposition with your sun that is in the 9th house, and it's like 26 degrees, I think. It's 28 degrees Aquarius, so it's almost Pisces. So when you say you have these like experiences of speaking to the divine and all that, that's what it says to me. Like your 9th house and your 3rd house have this opposition with the sun and Pluto. And Pluto is in the 1st degree, so it's a critical thinking, like intense degree to be in for getting to the bottom of things like you are. And also you can just get obsessed with things when you have Pluto in that communications. Like you just need to get to the bottom of it, kind of like Scorpio, like all your stuff in the Scorpio house, right? So you have all these aspects of you that are, when you just in the last 10 minutes of listening to you talk, it's all you. Like you have an ongoing relationship that you can tap into. And like you said about the Chiron, really, Chiron is the wounded healer. So I would say, you use your experiences and what you've hurt, like how you've hurt, and that's how you're going to write. Because also Virgo in that 3rd house says that you're a good writer. So this 10-year book, I'm sure it's really intense. You put a lot of work into it, put a lot of your soul and heart into that book, that's for sure.
All of it. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful and very resonant reading. Yeah, it's been a really long, hard road. But hey, we're giving birth now. The labor's nearly over.
Yeah, and who now jumped in and said it's going to be hard to share this or whatever? That's kind of one of those topics that, like, if you're ready, the teacher will appear kind of thing. Like, you can't just walk around with that sign in the street, Jesus.
Well, no, I'm that's kind of my area of expertise. That's where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at here in the station in 2 years and all over the world with our station. That's kind of the input that I get. I deal with a lot of Christians and Jews and Palestinians. I've been a negotiator for Palestine and Israel and here in the United States in the Deep South. So, I kind of understand. This is my specialty. I understand the trends. I understand the pulse of what's going on out there in the mainstream Christian communities, all of their dogmas and different denominations, denomini. And,
how many is there now? Is there 36,000 or something I heard Santos say, or 26,000 Christian denominations alone?
Yeah, it runs anywhere from 14 to 26. It's debatable. The jury's still out, but there's a lot of different separations of the same, you might say, taken from many different perspectives: Latin, Greek, Hindu, Buddhism. Christianity is kind of a mixture of all of these things.
Right.
And so it's very difficult. Most people grow up in mainstream Christianity believing just one thing: Christ's birth. He lived in the stall, so forth and so on. The 3 kings came, et cetera, et cetera. And there again, the 3 kings come from a time before Christ came. So these stories were intertwined with each other. There were no 3 kings in the stall with Jesus. They didn't see the star, and they didn't go forth and so forth and bring gifts and myrrh. These stories have all been jammed together, and if anybody will just take the time to read their history, they'll verify this for themselves. So this really shakes people up in the mainstream. This kind of stuff scares people to death because when you start jacking with the resurrection, you're messing with some heavy equipment there. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a big.
You said it, brother.
It's a big program we're dealing with, and I know Tony has a couple of questions that he had mentioned just before you got back on with us, Swan. So, Tony, what do you got?
Well, it's interesting that we come across this information because it's very synchronistic. One of the things that it's synchronistic with is on my journeys to gathering pieces and putting the picture together. Bumped into some interesting people. One of the sets of people that I bumped into were people that are linked into the Knights Templar. Now, I wonder if Swan could give me any information on the Knights Templar, what they knew about Christ, and the fact that the Knights Templar are the sovereign military order of Christ.
Oh, yeah.
So, well, all I can tell you is that I avoid them like the I've seen past lives with them. I know what they're up to. And when I went to Roslyn Chapel, actually about 12 years ago, I had one of the worst and heaviest attempts on my life.
Okay, but you do realise that
Yep.
I mean, there's a split gone on with the Knights Templar. A lot of them ended up becoming bankers, and there's some, the genuine ones are the ones that I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, few and far between, and I'd love to connect with those. And the ones who are the genuine ones who really are upholding the truth of Christ certainly wouldn't call themselves military in any way. And if they are strong enough within themselves and in their spiritual connection to stand up against the rest of the Masonic groups, then they could be of a great assistance to this movement towards divine feminine and divine love, for sure. And the truth about Christ, I liked what Davenport said, which I didn't mention, and I meant to, is that it's also in my book, the history of Jesus and Sarah, his wife, and when they were initiated in Egypt, with the Magi of Persia, in India, with the Druids in Cornwall.
Yes. Very so, yes.
That's very interesting. You mentioned the Magi, yes. So that was going to be one of my other questions. What colour was Christ?
What? Sorry?
If his bloodline was a Magi, what would be his colour?
Oh, I didn't say his bloodline was Magi. I said he was initiated with the Magi in Persia.
Yeah, well, it's the esoteric or the hidden or occulted information that's been hidden away from mankind, which is that the Templars have helped to protect for several thousand years, that I'm actually talking about. So I just wondered if you had any of that information.
Not clear on the question. If I have information about what, Jesus' bloodline?
Well, go for that if you want, yeah.
No, I don't really want to.
The Templars originally came out as the protector of the temple, and they were very, very, very powerful, and yes, became very, very rich over a period of time, very short period of time, actually. They were protecting the... Some say they were protecting the blood of Christ. Some say that some were the blood of Christ, and actually in the family of Christ. And others say they hold the skull of Christ after a crucifixion. There's many myths about the Knights Templar, and yes, I do believe that there are still some Knights Templar here as working anonymously in the world, not just in the United States or Middle East or anywhere else, but in the world. The Knights Templar have not died out.
Nope.
There have been many groups claiming to be Knights Templar, and I don't want to name one talk show host. No, boy.
No.
But
you
will not hear the word Knights Templar from a Knights Templar.
No. But a point that I really have to make that's really important is that if we're focusing on the bloodline of Jesus or Sarah, we are missing the point. Because
exactly.
the bloodline is minimal compared to our divine DNA, compared to the DNA that is in each one of us of who we are and who we have been and what we are ultimately connected to.
Exactly, I agree. The bloodline creates division immediately. When you bring up bloodline, it creates...
Okay, here, let me jump in here. I'm chomping at the bit on this one, guys. The difference is really, 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 really simple. What we're talking about is the difference between the physical, and everyone's stuck in this bloodline bullshit, and the ethereal, which is the Christ consciousness, the program of the DNA.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, there we go. Can we move on now?
Mitochondrial DNA. No,
mitochondrial, the mother line, yes. It's got nothing to do with the father line, the patriarch.
Yeah, and I agree. So many people get caught up. That's what I was trying to say. So many people get caught up in this silliness of bloodline this and bloodline that. Who gives a shit? I mean, you talk about the Rothschild bloodline, this bloodline. It's all that's stuff that just doesn't matter.
Yeah, regardless of my bloodline, I woke up. I know what the Christ consciousness is, and that's all I urge to move towards. So
yes.
Again, I hate getting into the semantics of the physical paradigm that so many people get caught up in. You know I'll know what I'm doing.
Swan, the other thing, Swan, that I really admire you for is you come across very very balanced, and you're able to discuss and talk about these things and not get reactive and judgmental and crazy like some of the New Agers that I fight with do. You're able to talk through these things. You do have kind of like my mother. You're a very peaceful person, and that's wonderful. You'll go far with that. You'll go very far with that, especially when talking to Christians who are hard to pry out of this old paradigm, of the resurrection, which may or may not have happened. We don't know. We don't know if the resurrection happened. It very well could have. But all evidence points to that it didn't. And Christ was, as you said, married, or at least having a relationship. Sorry, marriage is not what people think it is. That's another show. They were together, possibly, and had a child and moved to France. All of my information points to France. They went down the trade routes. It wouldn't have been difficult to get out of the country where they were. It wouldn't have been difficult to follow the trade routes and take the boat over to France where they were buying spices and things. This was a normal route, a very common route for everyone. Jesus would have fit right in. No one would have checked his papers or his license, so to speak. Pun. But yeah, I love it. This is great.
Yeah, Swan, what's your take on the France route? We might as well hash it all out tonight.
Okay. Well, I don't want to give away the whole story in the book. My belief, and I have to be careful because book one ends with certain questions still being left in the air, and I don't want to bring that information in too soon because the books really take people on a journey, and it's really important. I've learnt this the hard way myself, that the journey is given space and time to integrate because it's an activation. So I think I know because I have 5 planets in Aquarius. So those of you who understand astrology will be laughing at me.
I don't Swan, I don't mess with Aquarians. Aquarians say I know, and I take them for it.
Swan,
thank you.
What about the France route, Swan? Because France was, as you know, hostile at that time with the Romans. He would have still been in hostile territory, very hostile territory.
I'm getting there. The France does come into it. It's certainly not where Sarah, Jesus' wife, ends up, although there is a journey through France, and Mary Magdalene, of course, has a big connection to France.
Yes.
And Jesus did at times in his life spend time in France as well as other places, and one of the other places that I've consistently been shown visions of him and seen him is in and around Scotland.
Yes, and yes.
Good, thank you, we agree. So I can't say too much because I give away the plot of the books, but France is definitely part of it, as is the whole Mediterranean, and all the way through to Cornwall. And Cornwall is very key. And actually, when I was given 3 months to live 10 or 11 years ago, Cornwall is where I went into seclusion with my son, who was 2 years old then, supposedly to die, but actually to heal myself and to go into this communion with God. It was in Cornwall that much of the story was revealed to me and where much of the story took place.
Yeah, God, God, this is good. I mean, this is unbelievable. I just wanted to say that I'm so excited about this. Her research is lined up with mine for some crazy reason. I've got Jesus traveling up through Provence and Trius and Metz and all the way through London, which wasn't London then, but it's amazing. People don't understand this. Up to Cambridge, which we head up toward the North Sea there, and you look over to your northeast, and you'd see Norway and Sweden, which wasn't there really at that time. But very interesting. God, this is really interesting.
Yeah,
and not just once, guys. We need to look way back. Jesus was traveling through those places as a teenager.
Yes, exactly.
So
and he could have gone south, down through Corsica,
Yeah, Tony. Let Tony.
Tony.
You guys keep stepping all over him. Tony, what do you got?
Go ahead, Tony.
So there's elements of information about the Holy Grail in this, then, Swan. Oh, sorry, the Ark of the Covenant on this occasion.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it's about, ultimately.
Right.
And finding that within each one of us.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The pineal gland is your Holy Grail, and various organs within the body. I know where you're going with this, yeah.
Many people see the Grail as an object,
which
is a mistake.
Tony, Tony, I like what you say about the pineal and the organs. This is absolutely critical. So it's a bit hard to hear you. I definitely want more of you.
Absolutely. Well, these are just a couple of tiny little tidbits, but there's a lot more to this picture, including where the Ark of the Covenant ended up, and the Cornwall connection, and Roslin Castle, and pineal gland, the Holy Grail, Spear of Destiny. All of these things are all linked in, but this is particularly the Templar information that I'm referring to.
Yes, absolutely, and not just the pineal gland, but the medulla oblongata, which is the center of our spiritual will, our connection to spiritual will, and the thyroid, but also the parathyroid, which is the sort of intercosmic gear that regulates so much of how we bring that spiritual will into expression in the world.
Absolutely, and it's also, how can I put this, Mark Hollywood does some wonderful work. People should check out his work on parts of the body and great works of art in cathedrals, and also how they resemble nebula in space.
No, that's Danny Wilton's
Danny
work.
Winton, sorry.
Wilton, Danny Wilton.
Yep. Yeah, and how these nebula represent star systems and parts of the body, and as above, so below. It's incredible connecting stuff.
That's right. And each organ is the seed of a particular emotion, but also connections to other planets. So Mary will probably have more to say about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, Mary had to pop off because her kids were getting a bit crazy, and
Hey, Swan.
I know their star signs, so there you go.
Isn't it so interesting that if you look back at 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th century history, you find only evidence, archaeological evidence of stained glass and church-type structures where we're talking about Jesus being at that time. You find it nowhere else. Nowhere.
That's right.
Else.
That's right.
People don't understand that. They'd be amazed to look up at Finland and Romania and all, Lithuania, Norway. You can look down toward the Atlantic Ocean. You can look at Leon, Portugal. You can look down to Almond Empire. And you don't see any evidence of any of these archaeological finds until you get on the route that you and I have been studying.
Yep.
And then you start to see.
Yeah, it's all to do with the technology and the secrets of how these things were taught to the bloodlines and to the ruling elite way back then.
Well, that's right, Tony. But also, it's because the routes that they traveled, when they traveled those routes, because they were embodying and generating such intense fields of high divine energy that they left an etheric imprint in the earth.
Yes.
Which people resonate to either consciously or unconsciously, but it's still affecting people everywhere. And the information is held there in the etheric field of the earth.
Oh, guess what? That's where I live.
Absolutely.
Sorry, guys. Just 2 cents worth. Sorry.
Yeah, you're allowed to. You are the host.
Oh, apparently. On occasion. Part of it. The trio.
We also have, going back to Talos.
No, he has to speak. Hang on, let
sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just going to mention I'm bringing another guest into the call.
No, you're not. He's not coming on.
He's not coming on. Okay, I thought he was. Okay, so good. That's why I have to announce things so that Tony knows what I'm doing. We had someone else. It's definitely someone else that you need to meet as well, Swan. The list is long and very, very knowledgeable. And one of the things that I also want to bring to the equation here, because I always know when things are getting too much into the physical realms of things, because I feel it and I get all crinkly inside and frustrated. That's the air, right? I'm Gemini, and what people have to remember is when we look at one thing in particular, we're seeing in the case of an as below, you're missing the as above. So all of this ties together. This is the holy science of holy sciences, and the map is there. You have it inherently built within you, called your star chart, and you have the heavens to testify for you. And everything correlates in the heavens, especially Orion. If you want to go to Danny Wilton's work, I'll pull this together with what he has done and how in the Orion Nebula, the what do they call it? The Heart of the Fire, which is the middle star. You've got the 3 stars of the belt, and if you go down below, you've got the 3 vertical stars, and the middle one is actually a nebula. And when you get right in on that, it's a perfect overlay of the Christ consciousness and the map of the brain, basically. You can also see all the symbols like the Eye of Horus in the sun everywhere. It's all over the sun. And also, when you take the Nile Delta waves mean anything to anybody? Maybe? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I thought maybe. Anyways, when you look at the Nile, that again, the Nile is the spinal column, and there's a reason why they put all those beautiful pyramids and structures and Luxor and all of that in that particular region, And I could bring Ireland. I could bring Ireland into this too. And there's a lot of other things. I know exactly why I was born, when I was born, for what reason I was born, and you're actually bringing a whole lot of this stuff together, so it's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'm done.
And, of course, there are many places, but I spent 2 years living in Mexico in the Yucatan at actually a secret temple, and their temples are aligned to the Pleiades, but in the same way that the Egyptians were connected to the Orion Belt, the Pleiades were intergalactic portals, gateways, for these star seeds to ground their energy in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Yeah, absolutely. I've actually spent some time out there myself as well, and learned a lot about the especially Belize and places like this, and the underground cities that they've got there and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, it's fascinating information when you go down into these things. But
that's right. I'm talking about Jesus, the man, of course. He also, we need to remember, did not just have one incarnation. He had incarnated before. He had been a master before, as had his wife. And so they have been part of a lot of these ancient spiritual cultures. There's no doubt that they incarnated in ancient Egypt, in Tibet, in Mexico and Central and South America, and in parts of Europe as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And the story actually goes way back further than that. I don't know if you factored in Thoth and the Egyptian lines that, Jesus came from.
Sure.
Exactly. Well, there you go. You know about the Emerald tablets and the information on those as well. Excellent.
Yeah.
Emerald Liberation Front, baby. Let's rock and roll. Time to set this planet free. And it already is. Green light, green light, green light. The Green Lantern is finally here. I've got my ring on. How about you guys?
And can I make a little plug? I have just put together a book trailer, which I'm really proud of because it's taken me a long time to get tech savvy. But there's a trailer for the book, which is actually a beautiful film. It has some incredible images of Jesus and basically sacred union, divine love, and it's an activation in itself. So I would really invite anyone to go and take a look at the book trailer and just watch that film over and over again, because that is enough to create incredible activation and connection to this energy that we're talking about.
Okay, what do we need to search for on that one?
Book of Sarah. Book of Sarah is spelled SAHRA.com.
Okay, and I do have a question here. As soon as some guy that's yelling his head off across the road would shut up. Anyway, annoying, anger.
I've been hearing that.
Yeah, I know, it's rude. Anyway, you're live on the air, buddy. That's right, yell. Anyway, here we go. It must be Scorpio moon or something. Anyway, maybe he has his Mars and Leo or something to that
What is
effect.
he mad about? Is he mad?
I have no idea. I don't care. Anyway, here we go. Here's the question. I was trying to make fun of it. Kate.
It's okay, guys. It's a very small shadow.
Yes, it is. Very tiny. Kate, have any of you, well, there's two of me, so that's a qualified question, yeah, or the peeps on the call read I Remember Union by Flo Calhoun, later changed her name to Flo Avivia Magdalena. Yeah.
Yes, I have read it.
Okay, and they're already getting asked where can your books be bought?
Oh, at thebookofsara.com. The official launch is on the 16th of April. However, if you pre-order the book now, you also get a free ebook with divine love poems as spoken between Sarah and Jesus.
Okay, and the link again, only a whole lot slower this time.
bookofsara.com.
Okay, there we go.
Sarah is spelled S-A-H-R-A.
Perfect. That's what we want. So we got people already asking. So there you go. That's what you get for showing up on our show. Hell yeah.
Beautiful. Well, it needs to go out big, loud, and fast so that the less interested groups that we've been talking about, who would rather this kind of information didn't get sent out around the planet.
Oh, so in other words, you haven't got any upcoming interviews with Alex Jones or anyone like that, no? Kidding. Anyway, no, I guaranteed, well, you're already out to thousands right now, and it's going to go into the tens of thousands once they get the links posted and everything sent out and about. So that's what we're here for. You know, this is the platform. This is your platform, and it works.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, we need loud voices, and this book is a vehicle for all of us as we come together in this consciousness that we're all connected in to increase the volume.
Absolutely, which is what we do here. It's all about raising the consciousness, and that's what's going to get us out of this, guys. You know.
Thank you for being there. I was really despairing a few weeks ago as to how I was going to get this out and feeling so isolated, and somehow I accidentally, in inverted commas, came across your show, and I actually cried. I was so moved to see and hear that people were out there using their voices in the way you guys are.
Thank you. That's much appreciated. It seriously is. We've been doing this a long time as well. It's been a long journey.
Yeah, long.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine the journeys you run to do this.
Well, yeah, I sort of wrote a book about it as well, same as you.
Which is called?
What's your book? I want to read it.
The book's called Blueprints of Cosmic Consciousness, and it's free for anybody to download, and you can download it at awakeconsciousawareness.com, or you can find a link to it through syncrenicity.com and my bio page on the website.
Sounds like a book everybody should read.
Yep. Syncrenicity.com is syncrenicity.com. Yay!
Beautiful.
That's what we're here for. You know, it's about getting the word out. And I know with Kiler's network and ours, and everyone listening, and the other radio networks that we're hooked into. Actually, Swan, we need to book you on a dedicated show where I can get some promo up ahead of time, and you may even want to talk to Tony about webinars, which we have availability as well. So, we have the tools. Please come to the table. The feast is ready. We set the table a long time ago.
I'm there, thank you. I love that analogy. I am at the table, knife and fork and glass of wine in hand.
Belly up, baby. It's a feast.
Cool. You'll get more truth in this lot than you will on Michelangelo's The Last Supper. Let's put it that way.
Kate, we do have two very powerful networks together.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I just mean... we talk to a lot of people out there. They don't really understand a lot of times, nor should they, I guess, what we are, who we are, where we are, what we're doing. I mean, we do have two fairly powerful networks. Some people just have a show, and that's what I always try to emphasize. People ask me, do you just have a show? And I say, no, I have a network. I built my own radio station network, you know. And they say, whoa, that's different, isn't it? I say, well, yeah, it is different because we have different things going on in different places, and they all connect back to us, you know, which is kind of cool. You know? Yeah, yeah.
And there is no coincidences.
And I'm encouraging other people to build their own networks, you know.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
Who's that beautiful woman I'm looking at here on the Skype? Is that Swan?
Is that me?
Yeah,
yeah.
That would be Swan.
Might be
wow.
me.
I just
beautiful.
I'm just connecting up with the planet. Just give me a second here. That's why I went quiet.
You're a beautiful lady, Swan. You look like a princess. Egyptian princess. Egyptian princess.
Actually, Jewish Aquarian princess.
Jewish Aquarian
princess.
I was married to a Jewish princess. I was a Goy boy, of course.
Right.
That went over like a, popcorn fart, but
yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah.
I just don't want to provoke you tonight, man. You know, it's all good.
It's just not a good thing for a Gentile to marry a Jewish princess.
It's about time they all got over it, let's face it. At least I'm a recovered Jewish princess.
Well, let's just say we got over it well, but her family did not get over it very well.
Well, you ruined the bloodline, Kiler.
Yeah, I know. It was kind of interesting. I learned a lot during that experience, though, about life and about people and about different cultures. I learned a lot by being thrown head first into that, and we were very much in love, and I never dreamed that a family could override a relationship, a true, loving relationship. But that was interesting. They came and ran me out of town.
and by the way, Swan, I have given you my alternate Skype identity as well. So you have
got that.
Yeah, you got both of them.
Yeah.
I use that one as a backup, but it's always. Yeah, I'm getting to you, Tony. Jeez, Lord Thunder in here. I'm trying to get everybody hooked in here. That's my job. I'm the son and daughter. Get it?
Yeah.
The other great thing about...
We all are. You just know it better.
Yep. See, I've been telling everybody that for a long time, that you're both guys. You need to get over yourselves and get back into the higher... as Santa would very, very, very quickly outline, that we're all Jews, we're all Hebrew. That's the mystic, the higher mind, and we're all the chosen. Oh, isn't that funny how that works? And it's amazing how when all these veils get ripped down and everyone, now I see it. It's quite wondrous. But I was talking to someone earlier today. I was talking to Carol, and we got talking about my situation and other people that she knows, and where was I going here? This is very, very important. She asked, when did I wake up? And I said, well, when I got here, I got here awake, and it's been, I remember the day I was born and lots of other things, and what I found growing up was, I'm looking around all the time going, this place is nuts, it's all backwards here. Of course, I had a nice mirror backwards to work with, so the curse became the blessing, is what it turned into. And what we're dealing with now is, I love using the term Elohim, which is himself, herself, itself, or Latin, which is the word se, which is the divine trinity of masculine, feminine, united, the Holy Trinity of one. So anyway, enough of my astral babble. Moving on.
It's good babble.
Like Laura just told me, just breathe. You're beautiful. I'm trying. Oh my God.
You don't have to try.
I know. Well, that's the problem with us air science. It's like, breathe. Well, that's all we do. I'm still going on the list here to see who else I can tag you in with. Then I'll move over to, I'll grab Tony right now and then I'll swing your contact over to him as well. Just so you both have it. And there we go. Look at that.
I've
connected.
Yeah. Connected. I've got hundreds of Skype requests coming in. I have no idea who they're from.
Oh, that would be the Love and Stuff group. There is
Yes.
Between 200 and 300 people in there, so you're going to get real busy real quick, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. What do I do with them all?
Oh, you just click on them and accept request, and then
they're all
all
going to be
connectable.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to need to print some more books.
That's what you get for showing up on Where Eagles Soar. We just proved it. This bird has taken flight. It just so happens to be a swan tonight, so it's Where Swans Soar tonight. So and I do you do get the relevance of my Skype handle, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. And tell me, you must know the relevance of the swan symbol too.
Yes, I do. You see, when
you're right. Sorry, speak. You go.
No, I was going to say, just to give you the path of getting to Cygnus trumpets was, and everyone said, why do you call, when I first did my handle, I chose one day, this was about a year ago or so, I changed my handle to Ugly Duckling. And everyone's going, you're so, no. You got to read the story. You got to read the story of the Ugly Duckling. And that is the being coming into its own, where it finally realizes, looking in its own mirror, that although it's not, part of this group or that group or the other group, it finally finds its home, and it becomes the most beautiful creature with flight. That's the analogy of the story. And then I changed it from Ugly Duckling to Cygnus Rising, and that was about 6 months ago, and you might know the relevance of that. And of course, the trumpet, there might be a seven seals sort of trumpet thing, and the swan, Cygnus constellation, the relevance of Newgrange, Ireland, and a few other things that come into play there. So there is actually a lot of meaning as to why I chose that, and it was very cryptic for a lot of people, but I guess now it's starting to be a little less cryptic. It was a very purposeful reason why I did that.
It's a beautiful story. It was heartbreaking to me as a child, that story. Do you know that swan is one of the 4 birds in shamanic terms that travels journeys between the worlds and brings information through?
Might have something to do with me being a two-spirit, perhaps, and having studied a lot of native stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and the other symbology that's beautiful about the swan, Paramahansa Yogananda means supreme swan, and the Indian symbology around swan believes that if you mix milk and water, the swan can extract the milk and leave the water behind.
Oh, very cool. I did not know that. I love learning stuff. This is so cool. Got to tell you a story about last year before and it's the only time I've ever seen trumpeter swans in a gathering. This was shortly after they raided my house, and we were staying at a friend's house, and it was just before this was the trigger for me to decide to go back to my house to make a stand. Of course, knowing full well what the system was going to do about it, and I spent 28 days in solitary as a result. But what I saw was a formation of swans. There was too many to count. Had to be between 40 and 50 swans, but they were flying in a double 7 configuration. And I looked up because I could hear them, and I go, I've never heard that before, and it was trumpeter swans. And all my 47 years, I was 47 at the time, I'm looking up going, I've never seen trumpeter swans in formation in my whole life.
Wow.
So, anyway, yeah, lots of significance to it.
Beautiful. That must have been one of those divine, ecstatic moments.
Oh, it was. I got to tell you, between the raid and going back home, was a very, I can't even put a word to it, as tumultuous and stressful and nerve-wracking. And, of course, most people, well, you're a guy. Well, no, you see, that's the thing, is you got the illusion on the outside. I've always been feminine inside. This is who I am. This is all I am. And so this is why I made the joke last night, Kiler, and it's a very tongue-in-cheek joke. Here you have, I'll use myself as the example. I look at all these tough men out there that think they're all this, that, and a bag of chips, and I say, well, listen.
Thank you.
Yeah, here I am, little 5'9", 145-pound soaking wet me, standing up in the face of the system. And I'm talking from Rome on down, Rothschilds, you name it, and I'm half the man you are. do something.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the one I do like to put out to all the boys out there that are supposed to be protecting the divine feminine, not...
This is it. I mean, if people just started going out and putting stickers in places and going out and, you know, writing criticalmass.com and, you know, just letting people come across the information, you know, we turn this thing around so bloody quick your head would spin. Because people would finally find some information that resonates with them and that's trying to help them by explaining what the hell's been going on. And that's the point. We just need to get this information to the people. When they hear it, it will resonate with them themselves. You know?
That's right. That's right. And not many people have read my book so far, but interestingly enough, the ones who have are not people who are living in the same field of consciousness as we are. They're way more mainstream. But the book has really resonated with them because it's spoken to something that they've been longing for that they haven't been able to articulate. And people are longing for something, they just don't know what it is. And the spirituality that we share with them has to be about, it has to be humanity in spirituality, not like you say, New Age, not a bunch of New Agers sitting on a mountain with crystals and candles, singing songs in foreign tongues to false gods. That doesn't resonate to normal people.
Yeah, same as like sitting around and waiting for Jesus to come and save you. It's never, you know, if it does happen, you want to look out. It's not the other way around.
That's right. That's right. And Ashtar Command is not going to come down and beam us all up to another planet so we can screw that up too.
Yeah, well, that's why they call us sheeple. It's the meat aspect.
I just wish we had another hour. But I have so many things I want to say, but I'm not saying.
Let's keep saying them. Let's keep meeting.
Well, I just wanted to say that I don't think we're going to win this on the spiritual side. I think we're going to win it by winning people's minds over on the economic side, the historical side, the educational side, the philosophical side.
Well, that'll be the entrance point. But
yeah, I'm just saying I think everybody understands that in the New Age movement, the Light movement, Workers movement. I think some of them don't understand that. We're not going to create a new religion here, is what I'm basically trying to say, is from an intellectual standpoint. We're not trying to create a new religion here. We're not trying to sway anyone over to a cult or something. It's going to be based on common sense. All of this movement is going to be based on common sense.
And truth.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's something I think we should stress to the audience, both my audience and Kate's audience and Tony's.
Yep. I tell you what, I'll speak to my audience.
Go on, then.
Don't mind me. No, and again, that's no harm, no foul. The people that are listening to this show right now, I know many of you. I know many of you one-on-one, and that's the reason why I make a point of making myself accessible, because I want to know who's at my table with me, and I want to know how beautiful you are and what stunning cutlery you bring and how delicately you lift a glass of wine. And I know who you are. I know where your consciousness is. You're tuned in more ways than you can imagine. I made a deal with the universe 3 years ago that only those that are ready to eat at my table will appear. And
you're starting to sound a little bit like Jesus now.
No, well,
ease up.
No. There's
eat at my table. Take my flesh.
It's in his
Drink
DNA.
my blood.
It's in his DNA. It's
yes.
in his DNA. It's glowing out of this guy.
I know. This guy, this girl. Yeah.
Yeah. Either or works. I don't take offense.
Guy, girl.
Yeah, you know, it's just, again, I'm just a clue, right? And I'm not special. I'm not different. I'm me.
The reason a while ago I said we're going to win it on common sense is because when you look at the great maps of the world, as I have so many years, you know, you see Tibet, you see Afghanistan, Arabia, you see the Yellow Sea, Eastern China Sea. I could go on for an hour and a half. You know, you're not going to win Mongolia, you know, Russia, China. You're going to win this on common sense, because this is not just about the United States of America and our little sweet comfort zone here, nor Canada, nor even UK. We're just specks on a big, massive map. So I think the whole New Age movement, the whole Lightworker movement needs to really take a look at, when they're thinking about these issues, they need to look at history. They need to look at the massive size of the peoples that are on it and within it, and not just look at what we're looking at here is kind of silly when you look at it on the perspective of a global perspective. So that's the only point that I really wanted to bring home tonight. When people are out there proselytizing or speaking or chanting or teaching or whatever they do, they need to take that into consideration and have a very broad mind and a very broad scope and a very good education in history, culture, tradition, and people.
And before they do that, the only thing I'm going to ask them to do...
And other religions.
The only thing I'm going to ask them to do before they do everything you just described there, Kiler, because this is the only thing that's going to help them make sense of it, what they're going to need to do is stand in front of a mirror for however long it takes to start asking themselves the tough questions. Am I doing everything I can to make this consciousness grow? Am I doing everything I can to be better, to move towards that Christ consciousness, that light, that love? And I'm not talking about this New Age crap and all the rest of it.
No, we don't do that.
No, you put labels on this stuff, and no. The only label I will put on this is truth. That's it. And you better start seeking the truth within. And yeah, you only have to be 51% to pass on this grade, but a little bit more effort, right? No summer school involved here. So make the effort, because what I'm seeing right now, the changes within me, I'm starting to see the mirrors coming back in such a glorious fashion. I am daily overwhelmed, and I got to tell you,
the other
6 months ago, 6 months ago I would. We're clean. We're like literally, and Tony we can all talk the same story here. Here we are clinging to this thread, and someone has oiled it, but we're holding on. And now all of a sudden, it's got a few more strands to it, so the grip's getting easier, and we're able to climb. And this is the difference. That we're already on the pendulum swing back now.
This is right.
Yeah.
This is the point that we were speaking about earlier. They've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at us, from vaccines right the way through. And that's one of the things you mentioned earlier about the energy and how the information is stored within the earth. It is, but they've also now, with HARP frequencies, what they've done is used all the railway lines and used all rigs and buildings to make them resonate at HARP frequencies to affect the Earth's consciousness grid itself. So it's incredibly...
That's right, even the ley line.
Exactly, they're laid across the ley lines deliberately. All the major monuments are on certain places on certain chakras of the Earth, and they're all interlinked.
Yeah.
They've been teleporting across them for the last 40 years, to my knowledge, let alone talking about stargates and the rest of the stuff that we go into. It's incredible.
Wow, I wish we had another 4 hours. I agree with you, Kate. I think it all comes down to, but then again, I wouldn't use the word truth. That word
truth is
not
love.
going. I know. I'm just saying. I would, if for those out there who are not that educated in world history and who are going to be out trying to wake people up, let's just use the word that we all know. I would be very careful using the word truth, because you're going to run people away immediately if you do want to make friends with Christians and Buddhists and Hindus.
Well, let me toss you a Mark Passio line, one of my favorite all-time lines. Okay, someone comes out to me and says, "Well, I don't really, you call that truth? I don't believe it." And I says, "Well, truth doesn't require your belief. It is." And
that immediately sets up division and
no. Well,
Kyler,
yes,
it does.
No, hang on, Kyler.
Hang on.
Kyler, what it does is it creates a spark, and if it is a spark that is for them negative, it's a seed planted. Then I walk away. I'm not there to preach to anybody,
No, but it depends. I have to say this. Hang on, Tyler. Kate is right, and the point about truth, if you want to convey it deeply into someone, it's how you convey it. If you're appealing to the rational mind, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you're coming from a place of embodied love with an open heart that's so deeply ingrained in your own cellular matrix, people feel that. And that's the password that bypasses all the rational mind limitations and denials.
In all due respect, that's what I just said. I just said there are so many people out there that come to people that say, I'm the Christ, or I believe in Christ, and if you don't, you're a heretic. That's the kind of stuff I'm saying not to do.
I agree.
Absolutely. You
don't want to go say, I've had a friend of mine, Don, he used to come over to the house all the time, constantly. He'd come over and eat dinner with us and everything. I'd go to his house and eat dinner, and he'd constantly badger me about Christ. Constantly. Do you believe, do you confess Christ? And I'd go over and I'd go to the front door, and he'd say, when he'd open the front door, he'd say, do you confess Christ tonight? And I'd say, Don, please get off of this, man. Oh, you want to get off of it, huh? Are you a heretic? And he would just continue, you know.
Wow,
so that's
Kiler,
what I'm saying.
Man, I can feel that energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the kind of stuff we don't want to do with any movement.
Okay, well, here's a bit of advice my grandfather gave me. I was 11 when he told me this. It said, always be mindful and wary of two kinds of people, those carrying guns and those carrying Bibles, which explains why I don't spend much time in the U.S. Bible Belt. But, you know, the bottom line is how we approach people.
Yes.
Swan's exactly right, and again, and I know from my own experience standing in the face of goons and watching them back away from me, just pushing aura out, and it's how you stand, and it's how the thing about truth that I love, when you stand in it, when you absolutely will not deny it, and you don't have to think about this, you just got to feel it. That's the joy of truth. You don't think it, you feel it. Is when you stand there. There is a power punch that pours out of you, and people feel it, and it will part the Red Sea in front of you. I promise you that. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, that's how I get along with so many people up here in the Northwest. I don't approach them with a movement.
Oh, I know. Well, you brought up another really, really important point. You know, everyone is confusing Jesus of Nazareth with Christ. Christ is an entirely separate embodiment. It is a consciousness. It's the Christal or the crystal consciousness.
Yes, and let me say, boy, I'm glad we're getting a little friction here, but let me say this. I represented that Christian community for many, many years, and you did too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so you know that the Bible teaches, if you're familiar with the Bible, you know that the Bible teaches what we're discussing here tonight is straight from hell, straight from the devil. So that's what I'm saying. We're approaching a group of people who are very ingrained. Let's just admit that in their belief that anything we say is straight from hell. Anything Swan says is straight from hell.
No, we don't even speak that language. And we're not approaching people. We're attracting people who are ready to listen to us and feel us.
Oh, yeah, but you have to understand what I'm saying, too, though, from a sociological
standpoint. I understand what you're saying, but you know what? You're picking a fight you can't win, bud.
Oh, no, I'm not picking. I'm just speaking intellectually.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Tyler, I'm going to tell you a life experience story that will explain what I'm talking about completely. And you got people, and I've told people this for so long. Stop trying to convert people.
That's exactly right. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, just I need to carry this thought through.
Well, I needed to carry mine through.
I know. Yeah, I got it. The thing is, we cannot go out to try to convert people. What we can do, Kiler, is what we're doing right now is we're talking, and people have a free will choice to tune in to us. And they now have a responsibility and an obligation to either tune in and hear what's going on and take it from a myriad of perspectives instead of a very self-centered one. And you know our listeners, I know mine. They are wide awake, and I get the notes. Okay, here's the story of what I'm trying. This is going back about 10 years ago. No, more than that. During my rescue diver training, we were required with our dive buddy. I was the trainee, and of course we had other instructors and whatnot. My dive buddy got to be 260 pounds, like dwarfed me. Big Sean, paramedic, amazing diver. Anyway, for the rescue dive training, they picked the murkiest, dirtiest river that you can imagine on the hottest day, hottest weekend. And so you get exhausted about an hour after you're in the water for like 10 hours. But what happened was, what we were required to do was save our dive buddy. That's part of rescue, right? So we were told that we had to go out and save our dive buddy who was drowning. What we weren't told was that no matter what we do, that dive buddy was not going to be saved. And we had to learn a very valuable lesson, and it almost cost me my life twice. I was dumb enough to go back, right? First time I went in, and he's like, save me. Very calm, and as soon as I got to him, he pounced on me, like, save me, and he took me underwater, and he knew just how long to hold me there. because no rag in the mouth, nothing, and I almost drowned. I got to the surface coughing, and then I backed away, and then he's, come on, and help me, I'm drowning. So I went in the second time like a fool, because I didn't get it the first time. There are those that you will try to save, and they will drown you in the process. So the best thing to do is, if after the first attempt, if you say something, if they don't want saved, walk away.
Christians, what I'm saying is Christians in the world are going to be just as adamant on calling you devil worshippers as you are trying to convert them.
And you know what?
I
don't care. Yeah. I don't care. You can call me whatever you want. Just don't call me.
No. Stop calling me. Stop telling me I'm doing that.
No.
I'm speaking from a very educated stance here.
Hey, Tyler. Hey, Tyler.
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm concerned that we lose listeners' ability to hear the real points and assimilate the amazing consciousness that we've been talking about in this radio show by getting caught up in intellectual debate.
Well, I think the listeners should have both sides. You know, they
can't hear this.
They can't hear it.
They need to hear all sides, you know.
Well, then, you know what,
they're going up against.
Tyler, and again,
I'm sure we have staunch Christians in the audience.
Well, I'm sure we do, and I hope they're paying attention, because what we're trying to give them is the real truth that was contained in these wonderful books, and the real teachings and the history that was stolen from us.
Well, I don't know why you all are attacking me.
We're not. We're not. Oh my God, Tyler! No, if there's any.
No. I mean, really, it sounds like an attack.
No. Actually, no,
making
Tyler.
An intellectual comment.
No, not at all. What it is the point you're trying to make.
You're ganging up on me here.
No, God, no. Stop. Just stop. I told you before. Stop. This is an open forum. You know.
Is it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just chill out a minute, Carter. Honestly, mate, it's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. I feel your passion, and I do, and I know exactly where you come.
Explain. Well, tell me what you think I'm trying to say that y'all get so upset about. What do you think I'm trying? Do you think I'm trying to stand up for Christians?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just think you're wasting your time even talking about it. Because
I think no.
There is nothing we can do.
There are millions of devout Christians out
there. And they can drown. There's nothing
so you're dividing yourself from the Christians by wanting to drown them.
Stop being that way, would you?
You just said they can drown. I quote.
Because they're choosing it, bud.
Choosing what?
If you do not want to be, you missed the point of my story. If you do not want to be rescued.
Rescued from what?
Okay, you know what, Kyler? I'm not going to go circular with you.
No. You started this. Answer me. Rescued from what? Are you saying that Christians are in some kind of bad situation?
You know what?
So off-putting. This is so off-putting for people to listen to. It's exactly what we're talking about.
I need you to just drop it, man. Seriously. Look.
This is a one-sided conversation about
the Kyler, it's not. Please.
Okay.
We've talked so many times. Would you just stop with this fucking garbage?
What?
You think I'm attacking you? I'm not.
Okay, good. Good.
Well, then,
when we get on the Christian things, everybody goes nuts.
Yeah, you get all fucking hot under the collar. Now just chill.
Who's cursing?
Me. And I love that word. It's Tibetan. It means love. Did you know that?
Christians will love to come over to that movement where you're cursing and getting mad at me.
I don't care if they do or not, Kyler. It's free will choice, bud. I can offer the table. If you want to sit, sit. If you don't, then I'm not going to force you. The meal's there if you want it. I can't ram truth down anyone. Listen, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, especially if it doesn't even realize it's thirsty and dying of thirst.
Nothing was said here tonight to bring any animosity or any temper. What are you upset about? Can you give me specifics about what you're upset about? Please? Can you please?
Tony, can you guys jump in, please? I'm shutting up now.
What are you upset about?
I'm shutting up.
Kyle,
done.
I'm listening. I haven't said anything, okay? But I'm listening. It's like you're looking for something to actually find that you can have a go at. It really does. That's what it looks like from this perspective. and it's not doing anybody any favors.
Not at all. I'm just saying how difficult it will be with the millions of Christians who are devout in the world, as well as Muslims, you all don't seem to ever talk about, to bring them over to this so-called truth of the New Age movement or the light movement.
I agree.
Because no one's trying to do that. None of the rest of us are wanting to do that. We've all learnt the lesson. We've all tried and had the mud thrown in our face for doing it. We've learnt the hard way, and we know it doesn't work.
I just respect all religions that practice the golden rule, is my point tonight. I respect everyone, regardless of race, creed, colors, gender, whatever, religion. That's my point that I'm trying to make tonight.
Tyler, I respect all hearts that follow the golden rule. I don't need the word religion in my language.
I wouldn't anymore put down someone who was a Christian or religious and say they're drowning any more than I would want them to talk about you or us or Swan drowning or Tony.
Well,
that's where I get pissed.
Tyler, I know, but you're taking it too literal. You're missing the metaphor here. Area code 937, caller, you're on the board. Questions or comments?
Hey, Kate, I don't want to add any fuel to the fire, and Kiler, correct me if I'm wrong, but as a listener, here's what I think happened. You were just saying how a fundamentalist believer acts and believes.
Yes.
And I think you may have taken it the wrong way of what you were saying.
That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
And yes.
He was saying how they act, how they believe.
Yes, and that's very important in this discussion. Very important in this discussion. And nobody ever wants to speak about this without getting mad.
No, Tyler. How many times have we covered this? It's a waste of time.
Why is it a waste of time, though? Talk about
we just wasted the last 20 minutes on it.
Oh, we did, huh?
Kyler, here it is in a nutshell.
This is why people do not like the New Age movement. You will. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just chill. Seriously, man. Holy shit.
Oh, seriously.
Oh, shit. Scorpio moon indeed, guys. This I did say that at the start of the show, right? I'm going to check your chart for fucking Mars and Leo, my friend. Listen, I love you. It's not that I don't care. It's the fact that I do care. I want everyone to wake up. I want everyone to come together. And leave religion where it belongs in the garbage, where the program...
Okay, let me make a point there.
Sure.
Real quick, intellectual point, please, and philosophical point. The Christians all want, and the Muslims all want you to wake up. That's my only point tonight. So, we have to understand that in the context.
I totally do. I was down that road, and I saw differently. It didn't resonate. I followed my heart instead of some programs, some guy, I don't care who it is, on a pulpit, spewing stuff that was taught to him from a deranged perspective of how...
I'm not talking about a pulpit. I'm just talking about people with good hearts who grew up with Christ and the resurrection. That's all I'm talking about.
Kyler, you're missing the...
you're missing the point.
You know what? I'm done. You guys finish the show.
Okay. We will.
Tyler, I'm fucking done, okay?
I thought you were leaving.
Tyler, you know what? I am leaving, but have a little courtesy and stop being such a fucking gloat. Carry on, Tony.
I'm not being a gloat. I'm just simply taking up for all those out there who are Catholic and Protestant and Hindu and Buddhist and Muslim who might not see things the same way that we do here on the show. And we need to learn how to talk to them respectfully and kindly around the campfire so that they might glean some positiveness out of all of this and be able to transform themselves into what you or us are trying to get them to see. And that's going to be a very difficult prospect, you know?
It is. I would love a reality check. I would love a reality check from other people on the call. If who's up for a change of subject?
Yeah,
does everyone want to stick with this conversation?
Yeah, that'd be fine, but all I was going to say is the Bible's based on astrotheology. There's a code entered into it, and there's lots of information to do with what the Bible is, and the same with the Quran. It's all based upon as above, so below. It's been twisted into the form of a religion, just like the Christ story has been twisted onto
Well, you know how I hate religion. I hate religion.
A bloke nailed onto a cross. And you wouldn't want. I mean, if you kill Christ, right, by nailing him to a cross, how do you think he's going to feel when he comes back and you're waving a cross in his face? It's like waving a piece of rope at somebody in your tongue. You know, it's been twisted. This is the problem.
It has been twisted. That's what we talked about earlier in the show with Matthew, Mark, Luke, John being inconsistent, and the New Testament and the Old Testament having a lot of inconsistencies. My only point tonight is just respect. That's I can't seem to get it. You know, everybody seems to attack me, Swan included, for just trying to make a very loving point, a very loving, peaceful, caring point to respect each and every individual and not say that they're drowning and we're right. You know, we're not right. Swan's not right. I'm not right. Everybody sees things from their own perspective, from their own experiential perspective.
Do take a breath and come into your heart. Can you please take a breath and breathe into your heart with me so that you can feel that I'm not attacking you? Can we just, everybody, breathe into our heart now? Hey, I would really like to connect with you at a heart level and out of this head stuff, because this is exactly the point that we were making in the show, is where it gets lost and heated. So I'm connecting with you from the heart now. And this is the space that I'm talking to you from, that I want to connect with you and everybody from. Because the rhetoric goes nowhere. This is what matters.
Oh, I know. I agree with you 100%.
So you're talking, you're not feeling. This is what matters, the feeling, the connection. Mm-hmm. This is exactly the point, and you've done a fantastic job of illustrating it. Thank you. And reminding me that this is where I want to be connected to you and everybody, and we all do. And this is what Kate wants to know.
We also have to connect on reality's road, too, and that's what I was trying to do, is bring some reality to the show tonight. That's all.
And that's what I was explaining.
Stay with the feeling. Stay with the feeling. Yeah, thank you, Tony.
That's what I was explaining about the Quran and the Bible are based on astrotheology. When you look at it, you examine it, you can see the Hermetic principles and the science of the movements of the planets, the stars, all the beauty that's in there when you study this stuff.
Before we go off air, I would just like to say that we have to always remember that there are a 7.5 billion perspectives out there. Makes you feel kind of small, doesn't it?
There's one Sistine Chapel with a nebula painted on it.
I love it, Tony. I love you, Tony.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. You and I agree on everything anyway, so we talk off air. But yeah, I agree with all of Swan's saying, what you're saying, what Kate's saying. We all have our perspective, and we all have our subjective reality and our educational experience and our experience, period. So that's where I'm coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. That's... Carry on.
Carry on.
Well, like I said, I think initially, Kiler, I think you were misunderstood about 15 minutes ago, and which kind of started the fireworks. But let's try to remember that a lot of us, like me, were I'm an ex Baptist preacher, and
me too.
Yeah, so there's always hope for everyone to see things, or if you want to call it, to awaken, even if they're still involved within religious realms. But again, I just wanted to call in because I was listening along with everyone else in the chat room too, with a few people. It just seemed like you were, from my perspective, it just seemed like they were thinking you were saying one thing, but you were saying what religious people believe and how they act. Yeah, that's the way I took it.
How ingrained it is in some. Yes, that's what I was saying. Some people are not going, millions and millions are not going to be able to get out of this paradigm and get into a conversation like this without thinking they've stepped into a Lucifer ant bed. That's a fact. Right. The Bible teaches this. The Bible teaches against astrology. It teaches against soothsaying. It specifically speaks against homosexuality. It speaks against all of the things that the New Age movement is about. And if anyone doesn't know that, they're an idiot. They're a complete idiot. So you can't, it's going to be very difficult to go out and enlighten people if you're not prepared intellectually and spiritually and philosophically for that moment, for that contact. That's all I'm saying, and I don't know why everybody got so upset about that. That's the truth.
I just think it was taken the wrong way from from what I was hearing. That's all.
Yeah. There's just a lot of I don't like a one-sided conversation or movement or cult or anything else. Even religion, it can be very one-sided. My friend Don, was very one-sided. Have you accepted Christ tonight before you eat dinner? Well, do I have to accept Christ before I eat my roast beef? So that's my whole point, is we have to be very, very considerate, very intellectual, very educated, and very ready to speak and tell our point of view when we go up against a hard-line Christian or Muslim or any other staunch group. We have to be prepared if we're trying to proselytize something, teach something, preach something, whatever. We have to be prepared to answer the questions.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm younger than you. I'm 43, and I need
56.
to hear that. Right. I'm younger than you are, but I needed to hear that because a lot of times I can be kind of rough with believers. So
yeah,
you're right.
Shouldn't be.
Right.
Yeah, we shouldn't be rough with believers at all. That's not about love.